Hi, Roshan. How are you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
I'm all good. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry, I'm a bit late. It's a big pleasure to connect with you and talk to you in person today. So, my name is Alex. I'm the founder and CEO of Educate Online, and it's a big pleasure to have you as our student.
Great, glad to be here.
So, we'll do a small video interview today. And the purpose of it is just to get to know you. What are you doing? What are your plans? At the same time, due to the fact that we're having this conversation, I'll be very happy to help myself as well as Educate Online. We'll be very happy to continue contributing to your studies and your further journey. And maybe we'll help in some matters like university applications or internships or anything like that at some point. Uh, just to get started, can you please introduce yourself? Tell where you're from, where you're living, what's your age, where do you currently study? Just a brief introduction would be good. Thank you.
Yeah. So I live in Nairobi, Kenya. My name is Roshan Reddy. So I study at a school called Roshan Academy. So it's a school in Kenya that is following the American system. So I was really into AP classes and stuff that many students in America want to do. Right now I'm in 10th grade. So my ambition when I came to Educate Online was to try and find some AP courses that could help me and also like help me explore um, my passions, my and also like help me explore what I want to do in terms of jobs, hobbies, and so on. So the way I perceive AP classes is like it's very in depth, and I feel like it's really important to understand the topic. So, and I really enjoy that because like I can talk to my parents about things they don't know, and it's sort of that interaction, like, oh, I got you now, and like they can't tell me that I'm right or wrong. So, I
Yeah,
enjoy
that's a
that
certain
conversation.
advantage.
Yeah.
Good.
I enjoy that conversation. So some might say that I'm just doing this to make sure that I'm on top of my parents. But yeah, I'm a very curious kid. I like to explore things, to do things. But when I came to Educate Online, they suggested me to Crimson Academy. So
Hmm.
and afterwards, like things started to flow. I started to interact with teachers that actually like teaching. Like so over here, the thing was get with AP classes, do your homework. It was like as if I was doing assignments just to get it done. But with Crimson, it was like I'm interacting with the teachers. The teachers are funny. They're doing whatever they want me to do in a way that I don't feel like I'm just being pressured to do it. Like I want to do this. So yeah.
Great. What kind of subject are you doing in the AP format and Crimson and Educate Online at this moment?
So right now in my school, currently I'm doing AP World History.
Hmm.
Really enjoying that course. Teacher's great. But in Crimson, I'm doing APCSA. Um, so that's AP Computer Science A. So just to bring everything to light, when I actually enrolled for this my school's APCSA course. But I felt like, just like I said before, I felt like my assignments, it was like as if I was just trying to get assignments done and moving on. I wasn't really learning. Information was coming out through one year and leaving through the other. So when I came to Educate Online, I made it clear that I want to do something where I will not feel like it's a burden. So Natalia showed me Crimson. She introduced me to like everything, and I was attached already.
Hmm.
My only concern was like what will happen to my school credits. Luckily, those things were sorted out, and I was able to switch without a problem. Right now, I am enjoying it, especially given the fact that there's recordings. Since these are online classes, there's recordings, and I can always go back if I'm stuck. So, yeah.
Awesome. And have you studied online in the past? So I guess for a lot of the students, it's a new thing, right? So there are definitely benefits to it because you have a teacher connecting maybe from the other side of the world, and that teacher is really passionate about what they do. They're experts in the field. That's great. At the same time, the format is new. So have you studied online before joining Educate Online, as well as what was your what were you feeling at that moment? So were you hesitant about this format, or were you all good and you settled it straight away? Can you please share your experience?
So let me be honest here. So when we went into lockdown in Kenya, it was really weird. Like things were going on and off, and wow, okay. So things were going on and off. So we were going online, then we were going in person. It was really crazy. So my online experience wasn't great at all. Like I hated online. But with concerns with Crimson, I felt like, yeah, it was a challenge at first. Like I was already, I had enrolled in the course a month late. I'm sorry, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks late. I started a month, yeah. So 2 weeks late. So I was already behind. And since it's an AP course, it's a lot of work to catch up. I'm still
Yeah.
catching up, but I feel like at the, but I felt like it's a learning experience. So I just took it like that. So I I tried. I'm I'm still trying. But I am getting better at it. So I feel like with time, I will have adapted properly. But right now, I don't think there's any major concerns like, oh, things are falling apart. But yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I guess it's the difference between the local schools that have not done online before and the schools that purely focus on online. For example, that means that they can figure all these things out. Um, what are your further plans? So you're doing the AP courses now. You're a curious kid. You're very bright. That's amazing. You're also part of the US program, right? So the APs usually lead to the United States, but what are your further plans? Where would you like to study at undergrad level or grad level? And what do you want to achieve in terms of maybe your profession? So what's the dream and what's the goal at this moment?
Right now, when it comes to this year and like next year's plans, I'm thinking of doing more APs. Getting into recently, I got into the Global Young Leaders Conference. So I got nominated for that. So my plan is to go there. Then I plan on looking at universities in the US. Like I have no intention of going to Europe or Canada. The
Hmm.
minute since second grade, I'm not gonna lie, since second grade, it's always been my dream to go and study in the US. So with that aspiration, I've moved schools, I've done more APs, I've like tried my best so that I can stand out and move to the US. Like at the time when I was moving to Roshan Academy, my goal was to go to the US and study
Hmm.
there. Now my goals are more concrete, I think. So now I've focused on one area now. So now I'm like, if I were to go to the US, which I still have the ambition to do, I would want to go to the coast. I would want to go to a really good university, maybe like Berkeley or Stanford. Who knows? But I don't want, if I had this ambition from second grade, there must be a meaning to it. So, like, if I'm just going to go to some random university in America that is not recognized or something, then there's no point. So, if I, so right now my goal is to go into a really good university in the coast, one of the coasts, east or west. It doesn't matter. So yeah, that's my ambition right now.
Great. We'll do our best to get you there. I think one thing, of course, is the AP subjects, and also another thing is to get a solid portfolio of things, right, in the subject matter which you're currently studying and or maybe outside of it. I've heard that you want to do an internship, and we're now working on the internship program with Softline, their biggest, so to say, corporate partner, and I'm sure we'll have that in 2022 to take part in, to get more experience, to get a better essay, as well as just to see what it's like to work, because I was studying in the US and UK myself, and then when you actually get to the workplace, it's completely different. It's about execution and about learning these things. And the earlier you do these things, the better. Um, in terms of your profession, so to say, have you thought about that, or you don't really think about it that much? You think about the universities, about the academic program for now. So, what's your approach in regards to the future occupation, so to say?
To answer that question, I feel like I should go back to like middle school, like sixth
Mm-hmm.
grade. Um, Actually, let's go back to fourth grade. So fourth
Sure.
grade, I was really interested into architecture. That was the one thing that I found like I'm good at. Like our teachers always had told us that we had a special talent, and I always felt like my strengths were math and art. So I was thinking, what profession does that sort of thing? So I was when I found out that architecture was one of them, which was like we had a project for architecture. Like we made a blueprint in of our houses, and I really enjoyed that project. So that was what I had thought I wanted to do. But in like seventh grade, I found out that I was not really interested in arts. Like art was something that I was lacking in. I didn't find it as pleasurable as I did in fourth grade. So then my focus shifted to software development and like computer science. So I started taking courses like that. I started my a lot of my friends do computer science in university. So I started asking them questions. But now after taking the course and after taking like so many other courses in high school, I really am a bit confused. Right now, with the way things are going, I feel like I'm really strong in maths. Like my teachers are always telling me that you can do well in maths. So that's something I want to pursue. But then I also feel of myself as like a strong speaker. So I also was thinking into fields that involve management, maybe political science, maybe some sort of uh, reporting job or something like that. So yeah, I am thinking about these things, but nothing is concrete yet.
Yeah, it's good that nothing is concrete because there are so many new professions or so many new sectors appearing. Like before, it was, for example, just tech and biology, like the medical sciences, and now it's biotech. Before it was finance and tech, now it's fintech, and there'll be more and more things of that nature appearing. And I'm just wondering, as a very bright student and as a very um, so to say, interesting learner yourself. So, what do you see the future of education and work? Because now we've had the pandemic, everybody has moved to study remotely or work remotely. Now, Microsoft and Meta, so Facebook became Meta, they're announcing that the metaverse is coming. So, what's your approach to that? Because I think all the technologies that we now use, you use them from a younger age, so to say. So, what do you think the future of work and the future of education is going to look like?
I mean, sure, we could go like hybrid, but I really don't see a path for online education. Like, if you're having a good school with you right now and you're happy with your teachers, there's no point in going online. I just had this conversation with my AP history teacher. Um, his method to teaching was very computer based. Like he never likes to use paper. His reasoning is that since he's lived in many countries before, paper is something that is more of a luxury. So he feels like if you have more like projector type work or some sort of thing that interacts, makes students interact, things will get better. Like with the way things are in my school, we're using multiple computers at the same time to interact and give answers. So I feel like things will not completely go online, but I feel like the paper and all these other things that we use in school will all be used. Like we will all use the computer in the end. So I feel like computers are a big thing right now. Like you said, meta is coming and stuff like that. But I feel like those things will be adapted to the educational system, and they would really change the learning system, not to online, but like use like teachers will start using computers as their way of teaching. Our school does a really good job at that. Like most of our tests are now on the computer. So I feel like that's the future now, more computer-based learning rather than like online.
Understood. So basically, what you're talking about is the integration of different new technologies. Even if VR and AR come in, then the schools can integrate those into the offline environment, and then the students can learn that way. Very, very interesting. Thank you. So last but not least, I'd also like to ask you, so you've been studying already for a couple of months in the Crimson Global Academy, doing the AP course. If you were just starting or thinking about this journey, right, whether to do it or if you decided to do it, basically you were just starting, what kind of advice would you give to the students that are thinking about embarking on this journey of studying APs or any other educational system online in a good school?
Honestly, it is cheaper than going to an actual school, in my opinion. I feel like Crimson offers a really good curriculum, which if you follow like day to day, like do everything that they tell you, things will turn out well for you. So you need to look, of course, there's cons saying that if you're doing two schools at the same time, it's really tough. There has to be, what I say is there has to be some sort of level where you can't cross. So I feel like do whatever you can, just do these opportunities. They will fail, of course they will. But that doesn't mean that it was because of you. It's just that some things are just not that possible. So what I would give, if any advice, was like, I would say, think of it like this. If you want to learn the subject, forget about the grades. If you just want to learn the subject, then take it. If you're doing it so that you can get extra credit or trying to like get some random exam score, then don't take it. So it really has to be for people who want to take it rather than need to take it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I guess the race for the grades, which we've seen previously, is not there anymore due to the fact that there is no correlation, so to say, right, between the good grades or great grades and a successful career or successful life. Things are much more complex. They're about soft skills, hard skills, and about ongoing improvement and ongoing learning as well. So yeah, completely agree with you, Roshan. And also, I'd love to thank you from my side and from our company side and from Crimson side for being our student. We will do our best to serve you even better. And thank you so much for taking the time today from your busy schedule for the interview. And let's keep each other posted about all the updates. I'm sure there's going to be many things to celebrate.
Thank you so much, and I wish you the same.
Thank you so much, Roshan. Have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye. Cheers.